Hello my beautiful humans, I hope you are having an absolutely wonderful week. This video continues our journey through Vampyr and covers our initial exploration of Pembroke Hospital. For those of you new to this game, do think about heading over to watch the first part. There should be a card appearing somewhere soon, but then make sure you head back over and continue with me here. As a reminder, Vampyr is a third-person solo RPG. It's set in London during the height of the Spanish flu pandemic, and it really pulls together some of the spooky vibes that we love here with a very story-rich, decision-based RPG. This is a very slow playthrough, really exploring all the different elements of the game and engaging fully with the main story. So if you're looking for a speed run, this is not it. You know the drill by now. If you're enjoying my content, think about subscribing, commenting, liking, all that great stuff. It means the absolute world, and I really love hearing what you think. I'm having the absolute great time playing this game with you, and I can't wait to get stuck in further. So on that note, it's time to dive back in.
And now you have some time for some exposition.
Ooh. We love some exposition.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal.
Oh, the Pembroke Hospital?
William was... What manner of creature was he?
I don't fucking know what manner of creature it was.
Villain and victim. Who can say?
It does smell good in here with all the candles.
It does. It really does.
Did you blow out the ones in the office?
None yet.
Who is she?
Probably should do that if you're not in there.
Yeah.
Don't play me for a fool.
But there's only
You
two.
use me to locate that
I know,
skull.
but-
You must know who she is.
I thought you were a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back. But I will tell you...
I thought you were a gentleman.
I mean, you shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but also gossip is so fun. Please tell me more about the lady.
Now, if only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages.
I mean, the flu decimated more than the East End. It killed over 250,000 people.
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reid.
How do you know who I am?
Ooh, he knows who we are.
You are Dr. Jonathan Reid, a surgeon of some caliber.
Well, apparently we killed someone on the battlefield with no issue of infection, so I am definitely a surgeon of exceptional caliber.
But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reid, marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. Turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the
I
Brotherhood of
mean-
St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Better?
Yes.
Good.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital as a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this.
I mean, your sickly mother is not going to be very impressed with the fact that you murdered your sister. So,
Take a moment to consider.
as things go.
Perfectly for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes.
I mean, clean clothes were the thing I was like, we need clean clothes.
Yeah. Clean clothes were necessary.
Fine.
I have little choice, but yours is a generous
Thank you
offer,
for
so-
letting us have a place to stay.
Oh, Jonathan.
It was a generous offer.
The beginning of a beautiful friendship.
It was a generous offer.
It was. So I'm going to go to the back of the boat because reasons.
Well, if you want to change in privacy.
Why? Let's just get naked.
Really, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes,
I mean, I
I'll
don't
make
blame
a
her.
new rotor in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
I mean, yeah, he's not very well. He got
and Dorothy.
very eaten.
Yeah.
Dr. Reid here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country.
Oh, I get a nice coat. I like the coat.
I really like the coat.
That is a coat.
Blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes.
But shh, we're experiencing blood transfusions because we drink it all.
Here at
And
Pembroke,
also because he
not what we
was a
have.
surgeon.
We haven't.
War.
It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our
I'm
ship
still
doesn't
just
sink.
like,
If you have any questions,
I was an excellent surgeon to the point where I managed to not have anyone get infections in a very muddy battlefield hospital.
Yes.
we'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Yeah, you are.
I love that coat.
It is a really nice coat.
Like, you can turn all the way around and look at the front.
yeah,
and,
like-
it is a really nice coat.
Also, like, I'm bringing you emergency clean clothes. Here, have a 3-piece suit.
Absolutely.
Seamy Dubs! Thank you, thank you, thank you, you beautiful, beautiful human. Making sure you got it written down. Written down. You are fabulous. I hope you're having a lovely evening, by the way.
Absolutely.
Oh, also, I did see that you stream as well. You'd never mentioned it. I did see it. I now follow you. I've got the notifications on, so make sure you let me know when you next go live. We'll be in there if we can be. If we are around, we will be in.
Absolutely.
Time zones may fuck us over, but we will be. I'm gonna look in these boxes. In case, because...
Loot.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
We'll have a word in my office later, Jonathan.
You're in the way of the steps, babe.
Have to go around.
Fine. Fuck you, then. You suck. I'm gonna have to kill someone. Guys, it's a hospital.
Rotten oppressive. Each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river. Try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse.
I gotta be polite, because I'm nice like that.
Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I haven't...
I'm not gonna kill you until I absolutely have to.
You're jabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
To a better place. I see how it is. Indicate how much XP you will get from them. Higher blood quality, more XP you get. In the below your prey, first thing you mesmerize, then lead them out the side from others. Your mesmerize level was equal or higher to the senses resistant plus Q to mesmerize Clay.
Mesmerized.
I see.
And now you get to lead him.
Fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Follow the little red line. Do we want to embrace him?
That is a good question. I think this may be a good choice for your chat to make.
I want chat to make the decision over whether I embrace him. I feel like chat will just say embrace him. But let's see. Does anyone in chat want me to embrace him or want me to release him? You have very little time to make the decision because I'm not a patient bitch. And absolutely, seriously, we will try and be there. We will, both of us.
Yeah.
If I'm online.
You can also just hit continue or press the button to continue and just walk around with him, I think.
I don't know. You have no idea. Didn't he just murder someone?
He did, just right in front of you.
I don't want him to be my child.
You got an achievement.
I will not take
Oh. I got points. I got like an achievement thing.
So the embrace thing is you get XP, and if you don't embrace, you can choose to bring. You can choose to embrace them later.
Okay.
For XP when you unlock their hints.
That makes more sense because I don't know anything about this guy yet.
I feel giddy.
That kind of makes sense to wait.
It does make sense to wait.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can.
I mean, I'm not very famished because I've got decent blood levels.
And that is the true way of the gamer. I've got good blood levels. I think I can make it. They said that is the way of the gamer. I've got good blood levels, so I think I can make it.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Like, you know, I don't have to do this. I'm gonna wait till like he's gonna be actually useful to me. At the moment, he's a bit shit. You guys don't look very well. Hi guys. I'm just raiding all your supplies.
As one should, as the major chief surgeon of Pembroke Hospital now.
No effective treatment of this influenza. Oh, this sounds familiar.
We are horrific liars.
You've been watching the COVID inquiry.
Staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
Oh, I mean, always obey the nurses, guys. If you ever become a doctor, obey the nurses.
Medical attention.
Already making the rounds. That's the Pembroke spirit.
Yeah.
I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Okay.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Always Nurse Crane.
Dorothy Crane.
Like always a crane.
Welcome to Pembroke Hospital,
Yup.
Dr. Reid. Your office has been prepared.
Fabulous. I have some
I would like
questions.
to ask a few questions first.
Just in case you got any information.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in.
Yeah, how is he? Is he
I
dead
gave
yet?
him a sedative to help him sleep.
I feel like he's not gonna have a good day.
Yeah. Definitely in a state of shock. You know, the dude's got his guts hanging out apparently from being
What kind
eaten.
of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought
I don't know. Like, I'll take anything. He knows me more than I know him.
To assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Rude. I don't want to say I just met him. That seems bad.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Gotcha. Goodbye.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Anything else we're gonna steal while we're wandering around here?
Four glass vials.
It doesn't put in them. We don't get in trouble for stealing shit like some places, do we?
No.
Okay, just checking. Because I felt like that when I first played the Outer Worlds, I fell into that trap hard. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that like I had to like go back on things.
Good evening.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid.
You don't look entirely well.
Already heard about you, Dr. Reid. I'm Milton Hooks. The ambulance driver
Yeah,
for this shithole of a hospital.
You don't look well.
Blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reid. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure.
Judge me and I won't judge you. It's fair.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
But I haven't worked out how to equip it yet.
True. There's gotta be a way.
Okay, so you're a
How is
you're
the
a
situation?
You want to hear the
tradesperson.
situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything.
He is a salesman.
And it's getting worse every day.
Good to know. It's good to know.
Are you really smuggling weapons?
Enjoying my fishnets there, baby.
Absolutely.
I've already been attacked by patients, you know.
Yeah.
And by gang members willing to steal my money.
Defending yourself. You're selling guns.
Keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital?
He's an ambulance driver. He's already told us that.
Guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done.
I mean, at this point, ambulance drivers just literally drove ambulances. They didn't provide any healthcare.
Yeah.
It sounds
They
like
just
things have been a bit rough.
drove.
Exactly.
It wasn't really until the 80s when they started providing healthcare in an ambulance. Like, they weren't trained in any way to provide like emergency care.
Yeah.
So like, if even as close as the 70s, you would just die.
Yeah, I mean, in 1971 in the U.S., the first ambulance drivers in the U.S. that were EMT trained were being introduced to the firehouses.
Yeah.
And originally they had like a phone in a box that would connect directly to the hospital, and that's it.
Yeah.
And there would be a doctor on the other end of the line, but they would be one doctor for an entire sector.
Yeah, here, like, in the 70s, like, you would just basically, they're there to pick you up, put you on a stretcher, take you to the hospital. That's it. They weren't providing even really emergency, like, battlefield level care.
Most of the time they would be, they would be,
Hint, hint, hint. What are you training?
ex-medics from the military, or, old doctors and stuff like that.
So this is all his stuff,
Shotgun for 350.
which I can't really afford I can't afford any of that stuff, but I can afford upgrade stuff, but I don't need it right now.
Yeah.
It's safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
If you say so. Chicken, 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 and then we
You already
need...
got your first side quest too.
Oh, cool. Where did I get that?
You got that from Milton, I believe.
Seems perfect to conduct my research.
I can tell I'm really paying attention. Cool.
I don't actually know, but
Good evening, nurse.
Still throwing me the E versus F.
Introduced yet?
I think there's a good reason for it, but I don't remember exactly what it is.
Dr. Swansea
We'll find out.
specifically offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
I see. Well, nice to meet you, Pippa. I like the name Pippa.
Me too. Ow.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The
Breaking my
fear is
thumb,
havoc
guys, it's
amongst
fine.
the staff and patients. We are running out
Good thing
of
you're at the hospital, you can learn how to fix it.
Won't last forever.
The Spanish flu won't last forever.
It doesn't,
Even the
but
Black Plague didn't.
apparently we learned fuck all lessons.
Right?
But what if this epidemic was worse?
I know.
What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Get a grip.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted.
I mean, I don't blame you. Like, the staff in this hospital probably being blitzed. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Man.
Also,
How long have you
I'm not sure if you realize when you have a choice during conversation. There's a medical checkup thing at the top right.
Oh, cool.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need
Fatigued. They're all fatigued. Good thing Viking took multiple shots, he can't feel the pain.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long
Very
enough
true.
to see that the epidemic
Very
is
true.
beginning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
But technically we still owe 6 shots.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test.
I owe 4 because I drank 2 extra.
6.
I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Ooh.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
I mean, we had a lovely chat. Why is he grumpy? Let's give me some hints.
Grumpy on a daily basis. Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man
He is
who
pretty
bothered about
grumpy.
a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Ooh, I got a hint.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
I see. Alright, I don't think I wrote any personal questions for you yet. No.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Interesting. So,
And that conversation got you 20 XP.
I see. People. Nope, that's me.
There's people.
So that's the main person we're dealing with. We've got Clay Cox, who exists and is healthy. But these two, I have a hint on him. Milton's reputation is mediocre among his colleagues. Dunno.
Come now, we can handle this.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're...
The only thing I feel about this game is
to read.
it's a lot of talking that needs to happen.
There is a lot of talking that needs to happen. It's got a lot of build up per area. So there's a lot of talking per area. But once you learn and talk through most of it, it doesn't have to be said all the time.
Okay.
So like you going through these now means you don't have to go through them later.
Tell me something about...
That makes sense.
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reid.
But in the future you could have hints unlocked.
Yeah, to come back to them.
Yeah.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
And it's good to like get all the data and stuff so you can make the right decisions further on.
Exactly, and who to bite.
By your side.
I'll give you some advice, but understand that
Nothing beats practical experience.
which can be exhausting and solitary work.
Of course, sir. And don't worry, I will never allow myself to be a burden.
Someone's a bit
Neither
keen.
you nor this hospital.
Keen.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental.
You sound
and
sus.
unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical,
Ooh,
you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
I've got a hint.
But I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Tell me more, tell me more.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been.
Did I get very far?
With your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about.
Tell me
blood
more,
transfusion.
tell me more.
Like, does he have a
You
car?
seem quite optimistic.
Uh-huh.
Rare and precious opportunities, difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test.
It's a test!
Endurance
A
and
test of
dedication.
endurance and dedication for us men of science.
To resolve the situation.
Yes.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play
Oh
the
dear. So this is how I'm getting side quests.
If you went personally to his shop,
You know I love a side quest. Like, if you do the side quest before anything else, you are always excellent.
Yes.
And the bosses don't fuck you up so badly.
Also true.
But personal questions, I got that one.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Tell me.
Vampyr is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him. What is it you really
I feel probably not,
to save
but
him, or to prove your point? Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reid. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
oh, tell me the story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick
All the
lied
juicy
to us about the
details.
new origin
Give me all that
of
gossip. I want the gossip.
It was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
And wasn't this also during the time of like the children workers, like?
No, I think at this point we'd already passed child labour laws. One sec, chat. We're just going to Google that. No, that's current child labour laws.
Put like 1918.
That's raised school. Yeah, so there were increased things happening then, but there was already definitely more in place before then, because there was a lot of things through the 1870s and 1880s of factory owners and things being very annoyed that they couldn't continue to employ children at the ages they were. So there was already stuff happening at that point, but
Okay.
there was a big one that happened around then.
Makes sense. Sorry, chat. We're history nerds here, and we like to know what happens.
Right, back to the game.
Yes.
Remain neutral, man.
Personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality.
Lack of impartiality.
The good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior.
Ooh, Dr. Aykroyd's behavior.
Trying to converse with his patient.
You think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Some biological
You enjoyed it?
machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Cool. So we've got what we can about you.
Some of these patients are looking worse for wear.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reid?
I mean, it is the 1918 flu pandemic. Oh, okay. We already have a hint about
Does my
you.
arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Aykroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Overrated
Rude.
dabblers.
Very rude.
If you have a problem with me, Doctor,
Come on, spit it out.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice.
Well, that's because I'm better than you.
It's also because, you know, he's the administrator of the hospital.
Right?
He's your boss. He's not gonna go
Also, like,
fast.
you kind of need all the help you can get.
Yeah.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reid.
Oh, have you?
Of course you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really
Don't
won't
be a
do
jealous
you-
bitch.
Don't be ridiculous, Dr. Reid. A
Ooh,
simple glance is enough
that
for me
one's
to know you have nothing
spicy.
to be
Right?
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me.
You learned some history from the both of us. Yes, we'll witter on about boring history over and over. Like, if that's what you want from this stream, we can give you more.
That's true.
We're here to
And I
save
can give you
lives.
useless facts.
The
You know
people
this.
across are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medicine.
Yeah, we need
Modern
more.
medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
I see. We want to hear your thoughts.
What do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride. Now that
Ooh.
is unethical.
Doesn't like it.
Something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual
Harvey Fiddick seems to
procedure.
be a very controversial patient.
Doesn't he?
Why do you wish to lead?
Tell me.
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Other people may say that's too conservative a point of view.
Conservative? And what are you going to say to Mr. Fiddick if he loses his arm because of the operation? Because that's what's going to happen if the surgery is a failure.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding?
Rivalry?
This is so
I guess
spicy.
you could call it that. But I will never be
He's not happy.
He's not.
Feelings affect my judgment.
If you say so. I'm not sure I believe you.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress.
Mm-hmm.
War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Doctor.
Nobody is saying that war is a good thing. Goodness.
I don't
Right.
know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills,
This is
Dr.
so
Reid, but your
good.
motive. Is it money?
Money?
Or are you truly
Money,
dedicated?
fame, or you?
I've got like 58 shillings to my name.
I served
Right.
in the war just like you. But unlike
Jesus.
you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I am just very good at my near miracle-like saving surgeon skills.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative. It is a question of integrity.
Ooh, spicy.
These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reid.
Yes, and they want us to do everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
I feel like Dr. Jonathan Reid would be a very big advocate for the NHS.
I think that too. Hey, who are you?
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid.
You moved.
They do move. They do move.
Tell me more about.
Oh, I did this one already.
What is it, Feck?
Yep.
That's true.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory.
Is it now?
I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on.
Dr. Ackroyd has clearly lost someone recently. He's wearing a mourning band.
Why is it
So that's going to taint his viewpoint on these things.
Look at Dr. Strickland's arm, though.
He would be the first to
Look at Dr. Strickland's arm, though. He's also wearing a mourning band.
Interesting.
Dr. Ackroyd is as
I mean, it
proud
could
as
taint you in two
blinded
different
by
directions.
Can.
concept of
It
medical
can.
science.
Am I guessing things I shouldn't be guessing yet?
No. You're just guessing, which is a good thing.
Is that the same? That's the same nurse I already spoke to, right?
Yeah.
Hello, who are you?
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan.
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reid? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
I like her hat.
Me too.
Okay. Cool. Let's hear about all your life, etc.
Etc., etc.
Etc., etc., etc.
I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Oh, you're that rich. Good to hear.
Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin.
We are pre-NHS at this point.
To my husband.
Yes.
'Cause
By,
the-
I think a lot.
Yeah, the NHS isn't until post Second World War, early 1950s.
May I ask?
So by 1918, that's what?
I'm a teacher.
At least
by
30
profession.
years.
Yeah.
well,
teach young
30-ish
people who are
years.
more ambitious about their futures than their
I'm
families.
not sure if it's, I think it's maybe 54.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived, but we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is
I
there
mean,
something in
fair.
particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Ooh, social standing, I see. Tell me about the arrival.
Arrival at Pembroke Hospital.
Unlocking the bullshit.
First impression.
The ambulance driver was quite rude.
I mean, he's always rude.
Yeah.
And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
Interesting.
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Interesting.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Interesting, Miss Hawkins. I'm not sure you were supposed to do that.
I share your stupor.
Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Hmm. Interesting. Let's talk to your son. I can. Yes, I'm sure.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
You do look a little bit chomped around the neck.
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother.
Could it be a vampire bite?
She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Uh-huh.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reid. It's my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Honestly, fair.
As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of.
Oh, really?
She'd tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Goodness, that's a bit extreme.
Right.
Someone might have a little bit of a
How painful is
issues.
A bit of a complex, maybe.
I mean, you gotta tell me about it, babe.
We must communicate.
Yeah, like, sorry.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir.
Like, you can't just decide, nah, don't fancy it.
Not really.
I see.
That would help.
Mm.
Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Interesting.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
What's more I could do in there?
Talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get...
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Interesting. That's a nurse you've already done.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. May I help?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed.
I think we found Mr. Finnick.
I think so.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Yeah.
All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Ah, there, babe.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just
Yes.
a regular guy.
I just want... I'm a sponge. I'm a sponge. Give me all the information.
You need to know about everybody's entire being so I can help them medically.
And a good one, too.
Yes.
Slash maybe...
That means I need both arms to do my
Make them up. A nice meal.
Are you satisfied?
The final meal, as it were.
Clear that I've chosen a bad time to be in.
I will say this though, this game and Vampire the Masquerade have two different meanings of the word embrace.
That's true. I think that's kind of what threw me.
Are you sure you don't want to
So,
embrace yourself, Dr.
embrace in my perception, because of the conversation we had about Vampire the Masquerade, is that I'm making him into my vampire pet.
Yeah.
Is that not the same meaning here?
It is not the same meaning here. In here, embrace is entirely just feed upon them.
That definitely coloured my decision about the guy down bottom, because I didn't want him to be my pet. I might kill him, but I don't want him to be my pet.
Fair.
So, you know, especially because I knew he was a murderer and stuff, I was like, I don't want him to be my little pet vampire. I want nice people to be my little pet vampires. So, that definitely coloured it, because I've spent so much time, like, personally, I've not played Vampire the Masquerade. I do have a Vampire the Masquerade character that has been created in conjunction with Viking, who you can't see because it... it chops off. But I was taking it on the idea of embrace is that I would make him my little pet, and I didn't want him to be my little pet. No to the pet.
Although I will say the pet part is a bit demeaning towards your childer.
Pet.
Yes, master.
You will be my little pet.
They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters.
I'm gonna move to this side.
You can be. It's up to you.
Because I have a chair.
You had a chair before.
I did.
Not flesh and bones.
Ow.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey.
Why do you feel guilty?
Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me.
Oh shit.
And now I may
He murdered his wife.
What an arsehole.
Can't be there.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
Oh shit, man.
You can't hold yourself responsible.
That is saddening.
Mr. Fiddick.
That's saddening.
It is.
Of course I didn't hurt myself.
Except, well,
work until my arm is fixed.
Inconsistency.
World War I didn't have the Blitz raids, but it did have the Zeppelin bombings, which weren't as bad, but
Yeah, much more minor. About the death of your wife.
About the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have...
Depends. Did she die immediately?
or
I just know that I'm all that me kids
did it just land on her and was a dud?
Yeah, and she just died over time under a shit. Children? Probably no children.
After losing their mother.
They were smaller then.
No, you do have children. I was going to go with you could have taken those you don't have children.
Yeah.
Well, good thing your children are not dead then.
Very true.
And I think we're good on that. Cool.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Interesting.
Reads me like a book. I'll never forget that trauma.
Unfinished letter. You are the one I've spoken to already, right?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Yeah.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Welcome.
Well, you accepted the job from him.
Yeah, I know about him. Oh yeah, it's just clear everything.
I've only just...
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant...
Okay, we did that already.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
You are welcome, Nurse Crane. Oh.
Here again. Time has lost its effect on me.
Hi, who are you?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid, a new surgeon.
We could be here all night just talking to random people.
I remember this one.
Mortal. You're nothing but dust
Oh.
flowing in the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep
Hello,
calling
Thelma
me-
Howcroft.
Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reid, if you must know, I'm a
A vampire?
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
Oh
I don't
my.
need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this.
I know, are you a psych patient?
She has seen better days.
I see. Have you ever heard of
Cotard syndrome?
Hmm?
Have you heard of Cotard syndrome?
Well, I'm about to be told.
Neurologist named Jules Cotard.
When you think you're a vampire.
Infected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case.
He doesn't feel great.
Delusional, you say? Oh, so you can't even begin to understand the concept of.
Well, I technically am a vampire, but I'm not gonna have that conversation with you. Tell me all about it. Go on. I want to hear everything. Everything.
I can feel my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades.
Mm-hmm.
I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my
She's a sandwich or something. I mean, she is looking a little bit skeletal.
Yeah. She needs some milk.
Gotta build up that calcium.
I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Then leave.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure.
You sound a little bit paranoid.
I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Only when she visits the garden near the morgue.
Interesting. I haven't been doing any of this.
I have no need for your medicine, Dr. Reid. Blood is the only.
Keep forgetting that that exists.
It's all good.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were.
I mean, I feel like if you were a vampire, you would know that I was a vampire.
I don't remember.
Maybe.
Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Or at least you'd learn how to identify it.
Right?
I'm assuming you must be a patient here.
You're patient? Tell me about being a patient.
To hide from my
Just to hide, okay. We're gonna take care of you.
Here are not your enemy.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white.
The men and the women who hunt. Okay.
Don't worry.
Thank you, mortal.
Cool. Wrong target. New investigation.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal.
Is that another side quest or?
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
I feel bad for this guy.
No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reid. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon.
Hang on a sec. I was just gonna turn that up a smidgen because I feel like it's been very quiet for everyone.
War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor.
I feel bad for this guy. Because it's not a graphical glitch.
Right off.
He just looks like that.
And he's got burn across his face.
Yeah.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be
I mean, you don't really want to be in a hospital full of people all dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient?
Bit shell shock.
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just
I mean,
hurts
if it's hurting under scars, it's
scars.
likely
You get my
psychosomatic,
drift.
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Won't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned
That
it's
is
easy
sad.
not to speak.
I do
Be
feel
assured
bad for
I'm
him.
Smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed,
I mean,
she
fair.
finds something tasty.
I mean,
A normal
delicious.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all.
Okay.
While I'm busted on the outside. but she's still beautiful.
Is she, or is she just a little
Living
bit
proof that there's
needing
hope.
a sandwich? You let her bite
so do
you?
you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not?
It's not
She's only
sanitary.
supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
Interesting. So maybe she is a
realize she's
doctor.
mentally
Maybe this doctor is a
It's called
vampire.
the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could,
Fair.
I'd join her world.
I don't blame him. I don't.
I feel for the guy.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you
It's a
serve
bit
for long?
it's a bit depressing,
I really
this
don't
one.
want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you?
What?
Then I doubt we fought the same
Well,
wars.
you too.
No offense.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Any personal questions? Anything else unlocked? No. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Did you unlock something for her though?
Good evening, Miss Howard.
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Okay.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
Come on.
I'm not sure, Doctor.
Spit it
I
out.
think we have
It's
a
a
bond
blood
of
bond.
some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you fancy him?
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Aw.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark,
Just a little, yeah.
to your nocturnal activities.
I wish I could be sick again with pain from the blood boil
Okay.
there again.
Hi, who are you? Oh, it's you
Good
again.
evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reid, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
I mean, you were being eaten by a vampire.
Fear and exhaustion make me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You
Uh-huh.
remained perfectly nice and polite.
A little delirious, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
Let's find out all about all this bullshit.
Behavior.
Yeah.
I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Taking this very gently. This is very chill.
Yeah, this is a bit chill.
William was an
Well, we
alcoholic.
kind of needed
His
it after you
addiction
gave us
suddenly
shit.
changed to drugs. I don't know why.
Exactly.
Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
More about Miss
dared
Hawcroft.
enter this awful place alone.
Interesting.
You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reid. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Was he? Or was he trying to eat you?
What is the general situation in the East End?
And then
The
was trying to eat him.
situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Interesting. Who leads the gang now? Tell me about it.
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs
Oh, Clay Cox
the assistance of
was
her
the
minions,
thing.
Digby.
Oh, hydrate. I gotta get all wet.
Tongue wet.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Like that. Also, we found Clay Cox. He was my little friend.
I've had this nickname
Who
for
I
so
didn't
long.
murder because I didn't want him to be my
Sad
pet.
saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle?
I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Despair.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot.
It's just making everybody happy, but getting everybody drunk.
No drugs,
Absolutely.
no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
And corruption?
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not
Particularly
really.
evil figures.
Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know.
Uh-huh. Interesting. So you don't know that. Anything in your personal questions? Oh, yes.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton?
He's a priest.
I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
So he's a priest.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Basically a priest.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token.
I don't know about that. It was very fucking painful to me.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Yeah, anything interesting to me about everyone else?
I recognise Miss Harriet Jones.
Okay, we've not met her yet.
The docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
You feeling better?
Exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel...
Don't worry, it regenerates.
It does.
You're in good hands here.
Eventually.
Dr. Swansea is well
Drink
versed in
orange
blood
juice.
transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care.
I believe all I need is rest.
Oh?
And then I can go back to the people who need me.
No. They don't all give me the E at the top.
We'll talk
I
again
know.
later.
Isn't that strange?
Interesting. I just didn't really notice it on everybody. I wasn't sure if I noticed it on everyone.
So little result.
You do the same one I spoke to
Good
already.
evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening,
No,
Dr.
different
Reid.
one. There we go. Found the other nurse now.
It's Pippa.
Hello, Pippa. I already
How
spoke
would
to
you
Pippa. Did I speak to Pippa?
Yeah. You did have more honor, though, so...
When did I speak to Pippa?
I just thought you had more honor.
No.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
I'm talking to Pippa. I spoke to her outside, did I?
No, she was at the desk here.
I thought that was Nurse Crane.
It was the train that was outside.
Oh, okay.
So many nurses. I don't blame you, honestly.
So, I'm going from my office.
Or you can go and explore.
Heard. I feel like finding my office is probably the next most important thing. Yeah. All these random bits I keep finding. I'm not gonna lie. This is not what Whitechapel looks like. I lived in Whitechapel for a couple of years. That's not what Whitechapel looks like. I have however found the garden. There's also a garden. We're at the east. Oh, there's a bin here.
Small bag of junk in the bin. And some screws.
Well, there you go.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding?
Hi, you're someone new.
Investigate.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir.
especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana.
What happened to make you not doctor?
Pawnbroker and
another
humble
merchant.
guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No.
Oh
sir.
my.
It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Interesting.
Are you afraid?
Go through all the bullshit and find out all about them.
Why should
Absolutely.
I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
I mean, okay.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic
Hello,
one,
little
too.
boy.
Most people fear,
I see
or
you.
at least have respect for dead flesh.
Sir,
He always wants time
as
for
a medic
food.
during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others.
At me.
It's the pain.
It is not.
Not death, it's
not okay.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton
I can't
Brooks
wait till you
helped me get a
actually
job.
see Whitechapel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you work here alone?
I still
Very easy work, sir.
don't see
All I
it
have
as
to do
being
is
actual
watch a few
Whitechapel.
bodies.
It's just
Situation
generic
was different when the main war was
early
still
early 20th century London.
Do you
Oh, you
need
get a thing.
medical attention?
I'm feeling all right, Doctor. But perhaps it is because I, too, am used to the smell of the dead.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir.
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago.
Yeah, I killed
You were
her.
missing, and she was looking for your body.
My bad.
She must be very relieved now, though.
Yeah.
Do you work here?
Yes, very
No.
easy work, sir.
Not really.
All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Okay, so we only have a little body.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing.
They're all John and
Sadly,
Jane Does.
Very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary
Were they
reasons
called John
after
and
the
Jane
beginning
Does
of the
at that time?
epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest
I'm
mass
not sure. It's more of an American thing than a British thing.
Yeah. The British version of it was John
I
Smith.
expect to
or
get
Jane
all
Smith.
types of people.
Potentially. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
sir. All kind of people.
Something I do not know
I
about.
sell all kind of goods.
Because Smith was a fucking massive name.
Who comes here
Everywhere.
to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
Yeah,
I'm very
you are giving
cautious,
dead
sir.
people shit.
I've been a doctor, remember?
You're disinfecting shit, okay.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death? Right?
It's a good question.
I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short,
Oh,
and the
fair enough.
obstacles are endless.
That is a
Do you
very
think you would
fair.
enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
I mean, fair. That is the
Yes,
general,
but the good
like,
news
downfall they give on most
we'll all
vampire
die
type
before
stories.
losing
Yeah,
our
anything with
humanity,
immortality is that you have to watch people die around you, that you get bored of life, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man.
Also fair.
Mr. Chidam.
No, Dr. Reid, I am a foolish man. But I like to think.
I like to think otherwise. That is fair.
We'll figure out your trading stuff. Codeine. Opium. A formula. I don't know, I can't read it. Just in case you left anything around the back. Okay, well I'm back in the thing now. I'll just follow this thing. 30, 29. In the back here. Here, another room I've not been in.
French.
13.
Very nice jacket, right? We said that earlier, actually.
It's a lovely jacket. Like, I like this jacket. Alright, well, I'm in the bit where you say there's a head.
Probably have to go through it.
If I go through there, it's locked.
I cannot enter.
Garden.
Is this a garden?
Scowl voices in the garden.
I see.
I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
The bin. Interesting.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Well, apparently. Bring the wallet back to its owner. With a nice coat like this. So if I stand still, I can also show you the front. Look at the front. It's a nice suit. It is a nice suit. Also, I feel like this has got a lot of your vibe to it. It's got a lot of your coloring. Like, I feel like this would look good on you. I'm running in circles. Oh, hi. You can die. I'm getting a little bit lost. Just a little bit lost. A little bit lost. Back out the front, is it? Yeah, it's back out towards the front. Yeah, you kind of do look like him. I definitely see that for you. And you would look good in this coloring. Hold on, hold on. It's being dumb. Facing that way. Back to its owner? I thought it was Milton's. Milton's not here anymore. Interesting. Very interesting. So he's over there and to the side. So back inside that place? No, over here. Over here. Here he is.
Glorious Battalion of Pembroke.
Hey, what up, baby?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're live in London.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reid.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers
I mean, I feel like he kind of has some PTSD. Like, I'm not sure we need to be quite so harsh on him.
Exactly. We lack words.
It's a little bit cruel as things currently stand.
Look on the bright side of life.
Like, Jesus. Found your wallet.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well,
I know that you fancy her.
So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reid.
Well, I am gonna ask everybody about it, including you.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Of course I am.
Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as
I don't blame her.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant
Yeah,
to have
the relationship of a lifetime. Hi, buddy.
one another.
Okay, come on.
Do you know how
Come
many
on.
rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running?
Is it gonna be annoying?
There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Come on.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
There we go.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
So I've seen a lot of them with black inside that I thought was a mourning band, but he's got a white one, and I'm not sure if it's gonna link to something later, but right now I don't know. Hi, buddy. Go on then. He wants up and then he doesn't want up. Always the way.
Goodbye, Milton.
So, we know about Nurse Hawkins now. I feel like we want to find Nurse Hawkins for a little bit of a chit-chat. I can't remember if you were Nurse Hawkins. Were you Nurse Hawkins?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Yes.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Let's find out about your blokey bloke. Really?
Pepper,
Not
I know
personal?
you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins, but are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke, but we do our best to get by.
Excuse me.
That's all any of us can hope for
Little
nowadays.
sneezy sneeze. Oh, your personal question. Okay, so cool. We found out some more shit about you. Thank you. Right, I think it's time. Oh, there's a poster here. Let's look at the poster. Oops. Don't sneeze. It spreads influenza. Sorry, guys. For my massive fucking sneezing. They ran to the left. I'm gonna go through mine. I'm just intrigued. Oh, there's more stuff I can take. Oh, I found a hacksaw. Always cool. There. Steel, steel, steel. Yeah. No. Cool. This is my
This must be the
place, I think.
It's definitely
Found
away
my
from crime.
hideout. Cool.
Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least
What
I
a
won't be
nice
sleeping in a
space, really. Yeah, my such matter about workers dealing with possible infected. Okay, that makes sense. I can see that. And that wraps up this part of the Vampyr playthrough. I hope you're really enjoying learning about this game with me. I'm having an absolutely great time. I will be back very, very soon with more gameplay content, both this game and others, so make sure you're subscribed and have hit that notification bell so you get told about it the moment it drops. Thank you once again for all your support of the channel. It means the absolute world, and I hope you have an absolutely glorious rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.